This magic is very old and very evil.
Shadowhunters is back for Season 3, so let's break down the season premiere right here on What Happened. How's it going, Shadowhunters family, and welcome back to another round of Shadowhunters recaps all about Season 3. Now, it honestly seems like it's been forever since we've had new episodes of the show, and I think it has been, so thank goodness that they put those recaps before every episode. I actually don't think they need them before every episode, but this one totally helped. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this episode. Lilith has arrived and she is extremely pissed that someone has messed with her baby boy Jonathan. She plans to do whatever it takes to revive him, even if that means taking on a human form and sending her demon sidekick to possess a bunch of people. Her first possession is a nice guy named Tim who works in the nursery at the hospital. Thank goodness he's smart enough to not let Lilith hold one of those babies, but sadly for him, on his way home, he gets possessed. He then slits the throat of his wife, who was just honestly happy to get out of the cab and see him, and she's like, I married Lucky, and I'm like, no, woman, run. After slitting the throat of his wife, Tim goes to see Lilith at the Church of Talto, and there she drains some of his blood from his neck, which pours into some kind of altar rock symbol thing. He is then wandering around town again and is about to meet up with his grandfather when who steps in? Ollie. Now Ollie, she's fed up with Luke's lies and him dodging her and his mind erasing. She won't let it go that she has seen a werewolf. Now Luke, like I said, has been avoiding her, but finally sits down with her and she shows him the claw scars on her arm. It happened 4.5 years ago when she was a rookie cop and she got attacked by a werewolf. Everyone tried to tell her it was a dog, but she knows that it wasn't. She tells Luke she has plenty of evidence on him, but Luke again tries convincing her she's basically kind of crazy. When they're at the murder scene of Tim's wife, Luke notices the black capillaries and knows that the wife was killed by someone who was possessed. He goes to seek help from the Shadowhunters, and when he is with Clary, he gets a call from Ollie, who has tracked down Tim meeting his grandfather. Against Luke's wishes, Ollie tries to confront Tim, but Tim speeds off into the empty market where they face off, and Ollie's bullets, though, they are no match for this possessed nurse. Luke in werewolf form jumps in to save Ollie just in time, but it turns into mainly a battle between Clary and Tim. Clary tries to use her dual blades, which she has picked out as her signature weapon, which happen to belong one to her father and one to her mother, but they aren't really too much help. Turns out, according to Luke, that Clary's signature weapon is that rune she uses to shoot light and stuff out of her hands. Clary ends up taking Tim and the flying demon down with that rune, and when she does, Lilith cries out from the church in agony. When her demon sidekick returns, she tells it they may have lost their first, but there are 33 others waiting for the demon to possess them, and yeah, she says bring her disciples. Luke is by Ollie's side when she wakes up in the hospital, and he knows he can't lie to her anymore, and he tells her that everything she saw was real, and all the legends are true. Now Clary and Jace have a big lie they continue to hide. The fact that she did indeed use the wish from Raziel to bring Jace back to life. During Clary's rune ceremony, where she receives her angelic rune and is no longer a Shadowhunter in training, the Inquisitor tells Clary how proud she is of her and how she prevented a wish from being granted. Oh, little does that Inquisitor know. Alec also knows something is up because he tells Clary what she did was impressive, but it's Alec, so you know there's going to be like a but because he doesn't really give her flat out compliments, right? He knows something happened because he felt Jace die and his Parabatai rune disappeared. Clary again just tries to avoid answers. Jace tells Clary they can't tell Alec or anyone the truth because if Alec knew, he'd be forced to tell the Clave because compelling a wish from the angel can only happen once. If they found out, Clary would be locked up for the rest of her life. Alec isn't the only one asking questions though. Izzy does too when Clary goes to pick out her signature weapons. Izzy, who is now the weapons master, asks Clary if there was a part of her that wanted to make a wish. Clary says part of her did, but she couldn't, but Izzy still looks kind of suspicious. While Clary holds on to that secret, Jace struggles with another secret of his own, the nightmares about Jonathan. This vision of Jonathan keeps coming to him in his nightmares within nightmares, telling him to kill Clary. And yeah, it just pretty much sucks for Jace. As for Izzy, when she's at the hospital with Jace and Alec, she has a tussle with a vending machine. We've all been there, right? She's helped out by a doctor named Charlie who seems to be smitten with her. He asks Izzy her name and she says Isabelle. Now I gotta wonder if this Charlie guy will be the next one possessed, or if he'll be a love interest for Izzy, or if he'll just be bad news. There has to be some reason that they introduce this guy to us. So what will it be? For Alec and Magnus, things start off a little rocky at the beginning of the episode, but all seems to be well for the most part by the end. Magnus is no longer the High Warlock of Brooklyn thanks to him giving his support to the Seelie Queen. He's now back to wheeling and dealing potions and stuff, and while he puts on the front that he's happy, he's clearly not. He's overcompensating, and everybody knows it. Alec informs Magnus he's been offered a position on the council, which would mean he would have to move to Idris, and it would mean Magnus would no longer be able to visit him because Downworlders aren't allowed in Idris. And while it is Alec's dream job, he's struggling with what to do. Near the end of the episode, when the two are playing pool, real feelings come out as Magnus explains that he is in fact devastated by no longer being the High Warlock and that he doesn't want Alec to move. Alec doesn't want to go anywhere without Magnus, so it looks like Alec is turning down his dream job for his dream man. What else happens in this episode? We have Simon, who is off serenading the Seelie Queen and the Seelies with his original music about nature and whatnot. The Seelie Queen and Meliorn end up taking Simon into the Wonder Woods and use a spear to brand a mark on Simon's forehead, which does disappear. They don't tell him what it's for, but the Seelie Queen then allows Simon to leave but warns him that darkness will follow. Now, I haven't read the books, so if you know what this mark is, please explain it to me down below. The other thing that happens is Raphael visits Magnus asking for a vampire tranquilizer, which he originally says is to help a new vampire with the turning process. He then reveals that it's for himself, and he just learned that Rosa, his sister, isn't doing well, and he can't sleep because the thought of losing his one living relative is devastating. We then later see Raphael with his sunglasses on, sitting over a blonde woman who seems to be turning. He keeps shining a light on her and giving her the tranquilizer. So who is this woman? What is Raphael up to? Is he trying to figure out how to create a daylighter? Is he trying to create an army? Has he magically somehow turned Rosa into a younger version of herself and a vampire? I don't know. But that pretty much wraps up the main events of this season premiere. Seems like the big things we're going to have to worry about are the secret of the Raziel wish. We have Jace and his struggles with Jonathan in his head. Lilith obviously building her disciple army and whatever Raphael is doing. Plus, what is Ollie going to do now with all this information she knows? Will she be friend or foe? As the season premiere, it wasn't like boom, boom, pow. It didn't come off with a punch, but it did seem like it set up a bunch of stuff that's going to happen this season. So I'm a little excited. Now though, I made this episode, this recap before the promo was released, so I'm not going to be able to show you the promo, but I'm sure you can just look it up on YouTube. But leave me all your predictions for what's ahead in Season 3 in the comments. Which of these storylines so far are you most interested in? We do have some new characters coming into play this season like Jordan, so which are you most excited to meet? Let me know, then you can click right up here for some more of my latest interviews. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. My name's Lisa. I'll see you again here soon.